It seems people have mixed feelings for Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods. And being one of the DC's worst box office drops, it seems that DC needs a new direction. And hoping James Gunn will be that new hope for DC. Let's warp into the Cina-Verse of Shazam Fury of the Gods.
Shazam! So, in Shazam Fury of the Gods, we see Billy Batson and the rest of the Shazam family a couple of years after the first Shazam film. They're quite used to their new powers and have become some sort of a superhero team in the city of Philadelphia. I forgot what they're called. You can see that they're getting used to all of their new powers, and one of the problems that Billy Batson deals with in this movie is acceptance, that he can't accept his new teammates, friends, family going on their own. That's one of the major themes in this movie, and one of the journeys that Billy Batson goes through. His childhood issues, him being abandoned by his family, and the point that he turns 18 in this film, he thinks that he's going to be kicked out by his foster family, and this primarily takes him on a journey to develop trust with his new family and teammates. We are also introduced into a new villain, or a group of villains in this film, the trio goddesses, the daughters of Atlas. They bring a very unique feel to this film, whatever you may think about them. But primarily what happens is, yes, one of them has a sort of, both two have a change of heart in this film. Yeah. One would go on and wants to conquer the entire world, and the other wants to save it. First off, practically what I enjoyed a lot about this film is that it was in a way simple. It was fun, it was entertaining, and I think that approach of being simple, fun, and entertaining has been missing from DC. You know, that you just go to the movies and you're watching a good DC film. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a popcorn eating movie. Sometimes, yes, it was a little bit predictable, but it was fun. In my opinion, it was way better than Black Adam.
Things will never be the same because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Oh, definitely.
Because Black Adam was dull, in my opinion, slightly better than the first Shazam, which I really enjoyed because it was a new character introduction. Okay. Shazam, he is a major character when it comes to DC. It was lighthearted at times, but a little bit of darkness does creep in. I'll talk about that later.
Mentioning predictable, that was something that it did not do that well in this film. Every move could be predicted. The structure of the film was I did feel like I was watching another DC film, kind of. And
a general
superhero film.
But sometimes, let's be honest, even Marvel can be somewhat predictable sometimes.
Okay, I say this a lot in our videos, especially when it comes to superhero films. I think this is something that's being a trend, where they use generic structures in their story to tell the hero's journey.
The villains. They were good villains, great villains. Okay? Yes, they were at some times bland, but at the same time, I would say that they brought a lot to the scenes that they were in. Shazam, it's a very light, comedic film. Because it's Shazam, it's the character he is. He's the comedic relief. They brought a certain darkness to the tone, and they balanced it out well. I'll give an example.
Okay.
Right? When Antea and Freddy are on the roof.
Okay,
and Freddy tries to impress Antea and all that, whatever. And then the two other goddesses come along and they kill one of his teachers. They mind control him to commit suicide.
Oh, yes.
Now, can you be more dark, like DC?
Yeah, that's not for kids.
I think this film is 12A. That scene was really not for kids.
Yeah, that wasn't for kids.
But that dark of a moment settled in a light setting.
Actors actually made the character. As much as to their abilities, they tried to make the characters interesting.
So yes, there was that light-darkness balance in a way that I really enjoyed. That scene wasn't predictable.
No.
I'll just say that scene wasn't predictable.
I think the most unpredictable things in this film were the goddesses.
Exactly,
When the goddesses came, it was you don't know what's going to happen.
Antia's and like Freddy's relationship. Okay, you can call it cheesy,
Yeah,
whatever. I don't care. It was adorable.
I don't know if people found it adorable.
I did.
You did. The only good thing they did with this is they did not overdo it with the romance.
They didn't overdo the romance.
They gave it a relationship.
Yes.
But it wasn't done in a way over focused onto it.
You know, but it was
And
like a
that's
nice side story which you could enjoy, right? And I enjoyed it. I like cheesy.
Okay, yeah, he likes cheesy.
Yes, I like cheesy.
I'm not a very big fan of cheesy things.
Like
I
not
don't feel
overly
like-
cheesy on the verge of being cringe. Alright?
I don't think it was.
But it wasn't cringe. But
no.
like, oh come on, it was sweet. It was
Okay.
like a typical like high school boy like being a fucking idiot. Alright, in front of a girl he likes. Come on, it was
Okay.
sweet. Come on, let's be
I give you that one. I give you that one.
I felt that the introduction, Antia's character was a little bit rushed.
I felt it was a bit forced how she did
A
it.
couple of minutes later, we find out that she is in fact one of the goddesses, and the other
There wasn't a bit.
and the other members of the Shazam family find out who she is. It was very quick.
Yeah. So continue what you said about them being bleak. You need details. Who are they? Where did they come from? Maybe some history, some origins of their place and how they came here. Like what happened? They mentioned that we stole their powers. Like, okay, go into it. Don't just tell us what happened, in a sentence and that's it. There was no character to their personality, I would say. Where do your unique personalities come in? Give detail to their characters.
My final point, practically the character development that we see in this film, primarily of Billy. And from the first film till now, we can see major character development from Billy Batson.
Especially at the end.
Yeah, especially at the end. In the first film, for him, being a superhero is a joke. He didn't even like superheroes at the beginning. Did it remain like that in the second film? Yes. He used his powers to have fun and took it around. In the beginning, he knew that, he had a sense of responsibility. We see his journey throughout the film, and as you said, especially at the end, he made the sacrifice play. And that was a very mature thing to do for a kid.
You don't see you don't see a kid going up. It's like, I'm going to save everyone and die at the end. This is what actually made this film for me. I dropped my rating because of this part. That scene of his death, actually, I felt was one of the best scenes in the film. I actually very much enjoyed it. Because he died, but there was emotional connection between us with Billy, with Shazam, and they killed him off. I was like, wow, DC, that's a very bold move to do. And I respect it, but then you lost my respect by the next scene. And it was the scene when Wonder Woman came in. But I have 2 points on this. So the first one, why knowing that the DC universe is ending and we're getting a new universe by James Gunn, this is the same thing with Black Adam. They bring Superman and then they don't continue. They did the same thing with Wonder Woman. Second thing, bringing back a character in that way, you just have lost all the value of the previous scene where he died. You literally lost all the value of that emotion.
A part of me liked seeing Wonder Woman primarily because the first Shazam premiered when the DCEU was still a thing.
Yeah. That
Right?
I understand.
So he's in that era that we finally saw him interact with another DCEU character. I enjoyed it. The point is, okay, they needed an excuse to get Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman back for that scene. That's why they killed him off, so they can use her to revive him. What I really didn't enjoy is not her introduction.
No, it wasn't
The way they brought her in, even like, as you mentioned, the scene, like, okay, we're having the funeral scene, and it's sad, it's emotional, and then suddenly the Wonder Woman theme song comes on.
Oh my god.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't.
Like, it didn't feel right. Like, and then the close-up comes on her. That felt cringe. Not the relationship between Freddy and Antea. That was cheesy, but I liked it. I felt that was a little bit cringe, to be honest.
It would have been fine. The funeral was done, and afterwards there's this sort of grief for Billy with his family, but then it would have been much better that grief would have turned into motivation to actually go out and be superheroes. That would have been a greater end to the film. The death did not matter. It did not. Because there was no lesson sort of learned to move forward.
Let's talk a little bit about the mid-credit scene. Two characters from James Gunn's Peacemaker. Practically they go and recruit Shazam to be part of the Justice Society. The idiot thinking he's going to be a member of the Justice League. The Justice Society, they were introduced in Black Adam, but isn't Black Adam like null at this point? It's not even not going to be continued.
Yeah.
So how is the story going to continue? I don't understand. If you know,
leave a comment. Because since this universe is ending, it's like what's the point anymore to continue?
You don't know where it's going to stop off. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Flash will have some explanation, I don't know.
Maybe they want to connect with the Flash and then the Justice Society.
The Flash is supposed to reboot everything.
We don't know. We're not experts. We're two idiots.
Tell us how much, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much we're idiots. We also get a post-credit scene. We see Savannah in his cell, portrayed, if I'm not mistaken, by Mark Strong again. And he gets a visit by Mr. Mind. At that time, I could not understand, what is Mr. Mind trying to say? I think what they're trying to introduce is, for a third Shazam film, his ultimate fight against his ultimate villains. Mr. Mind forms the Monster Society of Evil. All-time villains grouped together in one team.
Yeah, an ultimate battle with all his villains in.
What we know is that Shazam is coming back, Zachary Levi is coming back, how they left it off.
Yeah.
He's going to be part of the new DC universe.
Yeah. Looking back at what we said, some critics hated it, some people liked it. It's still an enjoyable film. It's better than Black Adam. I give it a 6.5.
I'll give it a 7. So that's it. We hope you enjoyed our review of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, and subscribe.
Shazam!